Hey, Loco sports fans. Welcome to a Friday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. We'll try to get you in and out tonight because I got to be up early tonight, or at least I'll get in and out. Wes and Max and whoever stops by later might hang around a little bit longer with you. But I got an early morning tomorrow. So, and there's Max now as he makes his way back from Beaufort. I got an early morning tomorrow with the Canes wrestling team, taking them up to Edisto for the duels tomorrow. So, I'm going to get in and out of here tonight, but we do have a lot to update y'all on because we haven't gotten together since Monday. We had a pretty busy night of high school hoops on Tuesday. We had USCB basketball on Wednesday, as well as a little bit of basketball, high school basketball, and some wrestling. And then Thursday, we had a little bit of wrestling as well. And tonight, back at it with the hoops. And tomorrow, a little bit of both. So, a lot to go through. We'll get through some of it tonight. We'll round things up again Monday, I'm sure. So, but brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our original sponsor. Mickelson Law Firm, been with us since the beginning. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. They can help you with all your legal needs in downtown Bluffton. And WHHI TV, our partner in local sports coverage, bringing you all kinds of great live coverage of high school football and basketball. We got last night in the Lowco and Lowco Lights on the WHHI News, and all kinds of great sports coverage that we combined together to create. So I'm glad to have Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV as our all-star sponsors. How you fellas doing? We got Wes Kerr and Max Araj with us tonight. There we go. There's our names. I knocked those off for a reason, but now it's time to bring them back. How y'all boys doing going into this weekend? It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, although I think it's gonna warm up.
Weekend's gonna be okay. Monday,
yeah,
Tuesday,
weekend. Then
cold.
the start of next week, it's gonna be below freezing at some point. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be nice. It's gonna be in the mid 60s. So if you want to, do something fun, at least for a couple hours in the afternoon.
It's down before it's too late.
Yep.
That's right.
Not going to be that bad in terms.
They're already saying, be aware we may have delayed start times on Monday from the schools. So don't talk dirty to me now. I would love a delayed start time on Monday. Let's make that happen. But how you guys doing, Wes? You just got back from travels, right?
Yeah, I got back from travels a couple days ago. Nice to be back, and got to catch some basketball tonight over at the Nest. First look at the Seahawks of Hilton Head High, and the girls putting it on the Richland Jaguars. Expected a 40-point win for them. It was around 48-7. They pitched shutout in the first half. The Seahawks did. Richland got points in the second half, but Ashley Brothers, the former Hilton Head Prep Dolphin, doing some work tonight. She was impressive. Certainly a game that they should win by a decent amount, but looking forward to seeing how they do against quality competition. But so far, excited from what I'm seeing from Coach Raniszewski's Seahawks. Then the guys team, Tajay Wright putting on a show. Hilton Head was up last I checked 11 towards the end of the first half, so the Seahawks are looking good there against the Jaguars of Ridgeland. They've got some high octane players this year. Shane Brown does. So, I haven't been able to see the Sharks, the Bobcats. Obviously, Bluffton bringing back a dynamic player, great shooter in Harry Skinner. May River has had a tremendous start to the season as well. They're going to be a factor in that region, but keep an eye on Hilton Head. Don't count them out, especially when you're seeing some beautiful plays being made by Tajay Wright, a couple of dunks in there. And then Ketis Smith, the sophomore, was electric, jumping out of the gym tonight. I had a couple of highlight reel plays that I was able to capture tonight. So, Shane Brown's reloaded. He's got a couple of high impact players this year. Kevin Chisholm, and of course Derek Raniszewski, these tremendous quarterback on the roster this year as well for the Seahawks. So, a lot of athletes on that team. Look, that momentum going from what was a historic football season. Bring into basketball season. So that'll be a lot of fun to keep an eye on that team. But we also had I'm not sure how it finished, but Bluffton taking Hilton Head Christian Academy, which is of course the Harry Skinner Bowl with Skinner still playing for the Bobcats, take down his old team. So interesting to see how that one ended up tonight. The girls' game also taking place. You can find a final there, but just great to get
Yeah, I
back in the
haven't seen
gym.
it
I
yet.
actually was on the PA for the girls' game, and I'll be working the
Oh,
holiday
cool.
again, which is coming up next weekend. Not this weekend, the weekend after. So looking forward to that. They always do a good job of bringing teams in from this state and beyond. So it should be a good lineup for the holiday classic over at the Nest in about a week or so. But some decent hoops on display tonight. Still looking for a Hilton Christian County Bluffton final, both boys and girls. But USCB got to catch the guys game and get. More than the get ready game because Augusta's not a bad team. Augusta's a pretty solid team. The year in and year out, they're well coached, well put together. But Sand Sharks seem to play on the guys' side.
Yeah. Yeah, so both games were interesting. Girls got up big early and then just couldn't hang on to it.
Mm,
A nice comeback by Augusta to regain the lead, and then USCB was fighting uphill the second half, kept getting within 3 or 4, and just couldn't seem to quite get over the hump. And then it went the same way in the guys' game, but the opposite. The men got up 17-2 or something early, and then just never let it go. It got down to 4
mm,
early in the second half, but they were relentless, and it was impressive because they were shorthanded. They were down some guys, and Kev Price was out, Ish Rashid was out, but some guys dug deep. Israel Eatman had a really good game, running the point a good bit, and made some plays, and everybody just stepped up and did their part. And got them through it. And that was a huge win because sitting at 0-3 would have been very uncomfortable.
yeah,
Way to start
Yeah.
the Peach Belt Conference schedule. But with winning the home one, now you've just lost 2 on the road.
yeah,
And all can be salvaged. I think it was a really good night for both teams. The women came up a little short, but they showed some things and show like they're going to be a top half of the conference type of team. I think so.
I agree.
Um,
I mean, not a
I'm
bad
pretty I'm
effort,
pretty
even though they
excited.
lost by a couple of points.
Yeah,
Very competitive game, and they had a lead at some point. So I think this women's team is really making some good strides at the start of the year. And I think this guy's team, this is a game they needed. The sense that if you go 0-3, I mean, you
absolutely.
don't want to start 0-3. I mean, you playing your first game at home, you knew they'd come out with some fire, and they did. So that was one they needed to have to just get off the schneid, especially the fact that was this the last conference game before the January? So
Yeah,
um,
January
yeah.
7th
So
is the next
imagine having to
home
sit
game.
on 0-3 for like a couple of weeks in conference play.
Well, no, they have more. They
Oh,
have
they
more
actually no, they
games,
do. They have Middle Georgia State.
but
Sorry,
they're
yeah, they
and then
do.
they
They
have
and Georgia.
Clayton on the
Yeah.
third on the road
Okay.
as well.
You're right. Once
Yeah,
again, very surprising how they play so many conference games in December because I know in
yeah,
D1 basketball they're normally all after New Year's or at least
right.
after Christmas. So interesting how they
For the
schedule
most,
it.
yeah.
I know
Oh, we
different
got a
divisions,
final.
but
Faber defeats Toomer in the battle of
yeah,
former
I was gonna say
Casper
they got
County
Middle
coach.
Georgia tomorrow. That's on the road, but yeah, they get 4 of their first 5 conference games all on the road. So a
Uh-huh.
lot more home games coming after. A lot, a lot more home games on tap in the second half of the season, which I think kind of
Yeah.
bodes well. You get your feet wet early in the year. I think these teams have opportunities to get better, and I feel like having more home games in the back half of the year is going to be very
Uh-huh.
helpful.
Beneficial. I
Yeah,
agree. It can be daunting when you're locked in a battle for seeding or something, and then you got to go play 3 out of 4 on the road. So I think that's going to be beneficial down the stretch, and we look forward to that stretch of home games
yeah,
a little later on.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we got a lot going on over the weekend as well. Tons of wrestling. May Rivers up at the Dutch Fork Silver Fox Invitational. I know Hilton Heads and Bridges Prep and maybe some others are at Hartsville, and then JP2 and maybe somebody else are up at Northwood. So and then we're at Edisto. Everybody's spread out this weekend. So we'll have to track all that down on the Loco grind later on this weekend. But looking back at some key scores through the week, just looking over some things. Buford dominating Battery Creek in on the girls' side, and then the opposite on the boys' side. Battery Creek able to take that one, although it stayed competitive for much of the game. But Battery Creek was able to pull away for a 64-49 win, and then they're playing again tonight. And let's see, I do have a few scores coming in from tonight. Whale Branch swept Hardyville. Boys just finished off a 64-51 win. It was a 1-point game at halftime, but Whale Branch pulled away after the break. Battery Creek boys beat Buford by 30 tonight, 81-51.
Wow.
Battery Creek dominated the second quarter to go up 13 at the half, and then ran away in the second half. Whale Branch girls beat the doors off Hardyville 55-11. Buford girls beat the doors off Battery Creek 51-15. But before we get too excited about Buford and their girls, like, they're good for our region right now, but did you see what happened to them Wednesday night? Goose Creek 73, Buford 19.
Oh boy.
There's layers. There's layers to it.
Yeah, I mean,
staying with the girls, kind of. Let's see. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, I like how Buford's playing. Apart from that, that game against Goose Creek. Yeah, I think we can all agree that the girls' teams around here are not going to be, particularly strong at all. Unfortunately, I think we got a couple good teams. Like the JP2 girls team might be a solid team this year. Buford High is obviously a solid team, but I think it's, for the region, they're solid. I just think overall, I just don't know where they're going to be sitting come playoffs.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think we got a few that'll contend, in the region, like Whale Branch. I think will be pretty solid in the region. I think the girls' region will be fairly competitive at the top. Hilton Head, Buford, Bishop England, and actually Colleton is off to a really good start on the girls'
Colleton's
side.
been playing well. I'm actually intrigued.
I am excited about that Colleton County team.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think any of them are really going to have staying power in the playoffs.
I was going to say I would be looking forward to that Colleton County Buford game.
Well,
when it comes around,
is we've seen Cinderella teams at every level get hot, and if you can shoot well, there are just compared to other sports, you see a lot of upsets in basketball, for good and for bad, along the years around here. So I'm not going to put out of the question, but certainly there are some really talented teams. Even when you look down in 4A, that's especially the other regions in the Myrtle Beach area, there's always some solid teams, and the AC Floras. So yeah, it's a grind once you get in the playoffs. But I think this region itself is going to be very competitive. I mean, Bishop England is certainly going to have a challenging or a good team this year. They're going to be challenging for some of the squads, but May River, I think they're going to be okay. I think Buford's going to be good. I think Hilton Head's going to be competitive. Bluffton is rebuilding right now, which is surprise. I mean, not surprising, but like it's certainly a spot that we haven't seen before in terms of being that rebuilding team. But see how far they can grow as the year goes on. But it's a different era. It's a new changing of the guard in a sense with a lot of new player movement, a lot of graduation movement. And of course, the guys is going to be exciting too, because I think the guys can be very just the parity and the competitive level. I think is going to be very apparent on the guys' side from what we were seeing at first glance. Because I think with Skinner there in Bluffton, I think he's going to still make that team competitive. I think Bay River has really looked the part so far. This Hilton Head team, from what I saw, they've got some juice. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's Ridgeland, but Shane Brown always these gets these guys going. They play good D, and then they play some good transition ball as well.
Yeah. So can I ask what is Bluffton's record to start the year?
1-3 going into tonight, but they've played a pretty challenging schedule.
Yeah, I would assume because Porter Gout and First Baptist are usually pretty solid basketball teams. So
and they lost to those two in Christchurch. And they were all
they beat JP2 by 3.
Christchurch might be up there for some of the top 3A programs this year.
Yeah, they lost in overtime. That was an
They
overtime
lost to
game.
them by 2 in
16.
overtime. They lost to
Yeah.
First Baptist by 3 and Porter-Gaud by 3, and they
Not
beat
bad
JP
effort there
by
against
3.
Christchurch.
So
That's a good.
Yeah, Porter-Gaud is a
game they
very
played.
historic
Yeah, all
basketball
their losses have been by 3 points or less. So I mean, they're right on the doorstep. They're taking out Hilton Christian right now. So if somebody, one of our friends can, if any of our friends are over there, stop by in the comment section and give us a score from that one.
Let
because
us know what's happening.
Yeah. That game should be interesting. Although I think I would have Bluffton sizably favored in that game.
Yeah.
Have you seen Hilton Christian coming yet, Max?
I have not. I do know they picked up a win against Cross, but it was a close score, so I would assume to think
they did win that.
They got beat by 39 against May River. They got crushed by 55 today, and they lost by 10 to Prep. So I'm not too encouraged. Too encouraged so far.
That's a boys program that's definitely in like rebuild mode. And I know they lost. I think they lost a couple players to the transfer portal system that we have within the public high schools and private schools in the area. So I think they're definitely in a rebuild mode. Same thing goes for the girls team as well. They're going to be in a rebuild mode, I think, for the next few years or so, unfortunately. But I think the girls are getting there. I think they're getting there. They got the right coaching staff. The right coaching staff to build the program back up, but they got a ways to go to get there, and I think that goes for both the men's and women's team.
The guys just don't have a lot of size. They got guards for days.
No.
And Jake Wood went 9 for 17 from the field and had 26 points, so he must have gone crazy on threes. Only made 2, but he's their offense right now. As he goes, they will kind of go. But I think when they face folks with size, they're going to have trouble.
And that's my thing. I think they're sitting in a division where they're going to struggle. That 4A men's division, especially the 4A women's division, is always usually really strong in Skeeza. I think especially because they're going to have to play a JP2 men's team that is absolutely loaded and really solid team. They're going to really struggle against them this year. I feel like that JP2 team could make a good run through the 4A division this season. I think they have a really good chance to potentially win a region title this year. I think if I said 2 teams that I'm really happy about how they're playing is definitely the JP2 team and, of course, May River. I think those 2 teams have been really solid. I actually saw there's an Instagram channel that I follow called the Palmetto Sports Report, and they put out all their rankings, their weekly rankings, power rankings, and whatnot. And of course, in the 4A division, we had May River sitting first in those 4A power rankings, surprisingly enough. But
they're 6th in the coaches poll.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that. I think. But I do see I think May River is a really solid team. I think they're gonna do some good things this year.
But Hampton County in 2A.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the teams that are most likely to make it.
Hampton County is
Speaking of which, saw a few of those boys over at the USCB game the other night. Coach James was there. He brought Darius Brooks and Jacqueline Solomon and maybe a couple other people that I didn't recognize, but it was a lot of cool stuff going on in the Cove. We had the Hampton boys over there, had the USC Salk man.
USC Salk was there.
The Salk men were there. Got to talk with our friend Matt Lynch.
That's cool.
And it was Bill
Jeremy Orr on the PA.
Yep.
Yeah,
and we had the Bill Takeover night with the band playing. It was awesome. Cheerleaders.
Oh yeah. And the Grinch showed up. That was the other thing.
The Grinch was also there.
Yeah. I don't know if that video came out on Finnegan's Instagram page, but they got videos of him and the Grinch fighting it out, which was really funny to watch. Because I
don't have that score yet. May River Bridges Prep. I was hoping somebody would have.
I would tell you from what because I watched Bridges Prep the other night. I would tell you I'm pretty sure May River got the win in that one.
Well, yeah, I feel pretty confident about that as well. Bridges is rebuilding right now. They graduated a lot.
So they got they have a really good player in Mike Sawyer, who had 21 against Hardyville last Friday. He's probably their best player on the team. He's a really skilled player.
Let that one get away.
Sharks are
Yeah,
had them
Kane's
down late.
definitely good. So
they're looking the part. I mean,
that?
well, here's the thing. I'll say they've all played all local teams. They haven't played anyone outside the area, so I'm gonna temper my my thoughts just a bit until they play somebody from out of the area. But
Yeah.
okay. Although
Yeah, I'm
I'm not
with you.
sure if they have the Battery Creek Christian January 2nd they play the Australian national team, something like that. That's on the
Yeah.
schedule January 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what it says on their schedule. I'm guessing it's one of those sports tourism teams that
Yeah.
have come through in the
But
past.
other than that, they're playing, you know, I don't know. I like the fact they're playing with all the local teams, but you got to go out there and play other teams.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I
Yeah.
go to a tournament and play some quality teams. That's just my. I mean, I enjoy all the area, like the games against all of our squads, but if you really want to just get better overall as a team, you got to go out and play other teams from beyond. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion on it.
Yep. Can't disagree with that. Looking at some other scores from through the week on the girls' side, Whale Branch off to a good start. They beat Ridgeland by 12 on Tuesday, and then they beat Hardyville tonight. JP2, we mentioned them. Their girls beat May River by 20 on Tuesday, and then tonight they didn't play tonight. They're off tonight. Other games on Tuesday of note, not particularly. Uh, Wednesday night girls games. Hilton Head took out Battery Creek by 24. Colleton County blew out Stall. And then Thursday, Cross beat Hilton Head girls, Hilton Head Christian girls significantly. And then tonight we told you about Beaufort beating Battery Creek. Hampton County beat Colleton County by 9 tonight. A couple of good girls teams there. It seems like Hampton seems
County's
solid.
girls is a nice one.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they had pretty much everybody back from last year, and they had a good run last year. So
that's
we
a
expect
2A
them
team
to
beating a
be.
quality 4A team. I mean, at least like a competitive 4A team. So
Yeah, Hampton,
by
Whale
the way,
Ranch
tomorrow,
girls
speaking of
are pretty good.
international teams, Hilton Head hosting the Tasmania National Intensive Training Team.
Oh yeah,
It's
I knew they were
2:30
coming
tomorrow.
to town. They're
Yeah.
playing May River later on too, I think.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. I always like when the
Yeah.
Aussie teams come through.
Yeah.
And then some boys contests. We mentioned Bluffton falling by 3 to Porter Goud. Hilton Head blew out Benedictine again. Battery Creek beat Beaufort by 15. May River beat JP2 by 9. So the top teams around here seem to be all kind of pretty evenly matched. Whale Branch got Ridgeland by 12. So Faber had his revenge tour this week. He went against his old school Ridgeland on Tuesday, got them, and then he went against his old buddy Toomer tonight in the Ville, and he got the win there too. So good week for Jeremiah Faber.
Yes, indeed.
And then other boys scores.
So
Beaufort
the
got
Tasmanian team plays
trashed by
May
Goose
River
Creek.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But the big game that night, there's two big games: Ridgeland Hardyville and then Bluffton JP2. Those both will be very good.
Two big ones right there. Two big rivalry games.
Yep.
Looking for boys scores tonight. Only one we've seen is Battery Creek by 30 over Beaufort. But we'll round those up on Monday more than likely because they're usually pretty late to come in on Fridays. Wrestling over the break or over the last few days. Battery Creek beat Woodland. Hardyville got wins over Burke and Porter Goud on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we had a busy night. Hilton Head beating Bridges 41 to 40. May River with two big wins down in Georgia. They blew out Brunswick and edged South Effingham 35 to 30 in a matchup of really good programs. Beaufort had a good night. They beat JP2 47-35 and edged Battery Creek 42 to 40. Battery Creek beat JP2 48-28. And then last night, JP2, 2 wins. They beat Benedictine 43-33 and Colleton County 55-18. So Golden Warriors looking tough in Skeeza. They're up at Northwood this weekend. A lot of wrestling going on around the state this weekend. So that's the big stuff. What do y'all boys want to talk about?
Yeah, basketball season, of course, getting going, and we kind of touched on that. But I want to touch more on that on those USCB games. We kind of mentioned them in passing, but just going back to what we saw and really who was the most impressive for that USCB team. It just felt that they had that first step early on in that game, and there were times where Augusta was pushing to get back in it, but the Sand Sharks were able to come up with some timely buckets. But it was pretty balanced scoring. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with 9 or more points, and it was great team effort all around. Evan Kilminster was drilling it from long range.
He was incredible.
3-point from
How
beyond.
about we got mad about this, but the video doesn't lie. Seth Cullen with the jam. And then we didn't like the T call for pulling up, but as you can see, he pulled his head up all the way up over. Did you see that? He pulled it up all the way up over the rim. Here you go. Watch this. He pulled it up to like the top of the square. And then he's like, what? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He like that in real time, but he definitely did.
They were on top of it early.
I hate how they get in trouble for that. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kilminster's really settled in. I think he's really found a nice role as that guard who can shoot and can dish it. And he put up 10 boards. I mean, that's pretty much everything you want to see from a guy who's
5 assists, right?
Yeah, 5 assists, 10 rebounds, and the 14 points with a really productive performance. But if he puts on the show that we've seen and he can knock down some threes, that's a nice guy to have in the backcourt to really do a good job in a couple of different areas. And then, man, how many times have we said Nolan Paladugu making some important underrated impacts in this game? He can splash the 3, but he also does a couple of other things that go unnoticed sometimes. And then Dom Eason, just a guy who puts in a lot of minutes and makes things happen. And he can provide that spark plug, whether it's defensively or on the offensive side. He is a pest to deal with sometimes on defense and really provide a good spark. And then how about Lucas Platuna with 14 off the bench?
He was
really
huge
nice
in the second half.
Yeah, he was important as that game went along. And a couple of big time free throws came through defensively at some points as well. I think Fudal is starting to get a lot more with who he has. And even a game like Hudson Norton didn't do that much.
Right.
You've seen times where he's really gone off, but other guys have stepped up, and I really like seeing that in terms of you're getting some more out of other guys, and this might not be the deepest team that they have had in like the first 3 years, but I still think that the top heavy there is as competitive as we have seen them. I just think that they just, the depth that we saw last year was so important. I just I feel like they were able to turn to a couple different guys. Now they have some solid players this year, but just in terms of having a couple of more players that they can turn to and get big buckets for, big stops. I'm still waiting to see just a bit more from this team, but I still think they're going to be very competitive. And there's certainly a situation where they can get hot midway late in the season and win this conference. They absolutely can. And I still think they're going to be at the minimum top half finish in terms of where they end up. But I'll tell you what, this conference, we know how difficult and tough it is on a nightly basis, and I was going to have to keep them ready. And I expect them to do just that. But this was a really nice performance, especially by how they started the game and how they came out of the gates. It's encouraging stuff. Certainly had some moments in that second half, or even the first, where they kind of fell flat a little at times, but I thought the defense did very well. They limited Augusta to a 35% shooting percentage, so they really did a good job blocking down defensively in this game. So that's really encouraging.
Yeah, Augusta looked lost on offense the whole game. Really, they didn't have anything except getting the ball to the rim with Paulson and Nonphone, and that was about it. I mean, they were pretty tepid on offense. They were really flummoxed by the press. And I just thought Ron's team looked as good as they have, despite being shorthanded. And that was a really good sign that the depth is there. They were able to go, I don't know, 9 or 10 guys deep without two of their top guys. Probably, a starter where you're probably Kev might be your most important player overall. I mean, he's really important to the team. And then Rashid, he's a guy that on any given night he can fill it up for 26 or 28. So it was a lot of firepower to be missing, and to be able to win that game as comfortably as they did was great. And Dip was rattled from the get-go. He was 18 seconds in. He is losing his mind.
Yeah, man.
And it was great. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I got some scores. Oh, that's the wrong one. I didn't mean to show that one. I got some scores ticking now for you. How about this one that's about to come across? Girls basketball, Bluffton 90, Hilton Head Christian 88.
Whoa.
What happened in this game?
Where the hell was the defense?
What happened in this
defense?
game?
Oh my goodness!
Did they just get into a track meet?
Like holy!
I mean, unless somebody's fooling around on Max Preps, but that's what it says.
That is something you rarely ever see in 90
Really?
to 88 girls basketball game, where most of the final scores you'll see in the 30s and 40s in this area, but not especially with that Bluffton team. That's a Bluffton team that lost Hayward. Quay Hayward lost a bunch. Like Myra Brown.
Bluffton scoring totals this season.
Where was the defense? I mean, my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. Bluffton scored 48, 25, 44, 21, 12, 40, and 90? What in the world?
Yeah, I got the box score here.
I need more context on that. I'm going to get a box score.
You got a box score?
Just to confirm that. Because that sounds insane, because we rarely ever see a final score of that Max guys game.
Oh no, I mean I saw that too on Max Preps, but I just don't know if it's real. I assume it is.
Yeah, we'll have to.
But it seems unbelievable.
That's. I mean, you never know, but that seems quite outrageous, especially for a Hilton Head Christian Academy team that they.
There's your box score.
That it seems hard to believe. HHCA scored 22, 25, 40, 19, 44, 27, and 88? That's like 3 games worth of scoring.
No way.
Look at that box score.
Way.
Wow.
I need someone to confirm that that's a real score.
Mm-hmm.
Someone put this box score in, so I would assume.
Didn't Colleton beat Hampton the last 2 years by blowout scores according to football, according to Max Preps the night of?
Would you? I mean, I guess. I
don't think anyone would go out of their way to do this for a girls basketball game.
No, it sounds pretty legit, but like
especially
plus they usually just put in the final score. They don't do the score by quarter.
And here's the thing: it's especially when it's two teams that we both know are in rebuild mode. So clearly they must. My guess would be it was more than 4 quarters. That would be my guess. I would have think it would be more than 4
there would have
quarters.
been. It would have said overtime, fled to overtime.
Because
but it doesn't say overtime. The score by quarters.
That's the thing. I can't see these two teams scoring that many points in 4 quarters. That's my thing.
It's outrageous.
I'm doing some digging to see if this is true.
I want to see if this is true. Because if this is true, my only thought would be this had to have gone to overtime. Because there's no way in the world that these two teams scored that many points.
But then the score by quarters would include overtime. I don't know,
look,
man.
If they did, hats off to them. But oh my goodness, there's no way.
No, the coaches will not be happy about giving up 88 and 90 points in the game. I'll tell you that. That's just
God. And
that's wild. So other BJ's boys took out Ridgeland 48-7. Okay. Fish is saying nah. It was not 90 to 88. It was like 34 to 25 or something like that. I would love to know who's responsible.
Box score in as well. What were they looking? Oh God.
I'm gonna just put a bunch of question marks next to it in the ticker. How about that? That's what we're doing with it.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
We're just putting a bunch of questions.
It sounds like there's some random high school kid may have put in that score.
It sure does. Sounds like somebody's playing around on the internet. Someone needs to have their internet access revoked.
Yep, there we go. That's perfect.
We can't be pooping in the sandbox like that. Come on,
that's
guys.
Perfect right there, Justin. I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah. Many questions? I don't think that's accurate.
8.5 left and 34 at the end. He'll have Christian with 22 total. Well, that sounds more that sounds more about right there. So I
What's that? Oh, we got a comment.
8.5
to 8.5
left and 34 at the end. He'll have Christian 22. That sounds legit.
Yeah, okay. 8 to 8.5. Not 88, 8 to 8. 30, 34 to 24 or something like that.
Oh my god. Y'all trying to play
well, that
with us.
sounds
That's funny.
accurate because Fish said 34-25, so I think that's more accurate. All right,
that is crazy.
God, I was about to say, I was like 88 points. God,
I was like, guys, what? Am I having a stroke? Or did these two teams combine for 178 points tonight?
I had to think about it. I was like, there's no way they scored that many points.
Well, here was my thing. I was like, neither one of those teams has a kid who can score 30 points in a game. So who scored 90? Like, how?
Exactly.
It was 8 to 8.5. So it would have taken a torrid second half.
A 3-point contest or something. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
See, this is why I texted my hoops sickos. I knew they would know the truth.
God,
really get to the bottom of that.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hilton Head boys smoked Ridgeland too. So 74-28.
Oh,
dang.
And they beat.
I thought that I know Hilton Head's decent. They got a solid team, but man, if I'm Ridgeland, I'm thinking, man, I know Ridgeland's got not the best team that we see in this area, but I would have thought it would be a little closer than that.
Yeah, they're a little down this year, I think.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. But
I still would have expected
they'll be all right, but
out of them.
Yeah, I think Hilton Head's pretty good.
Hilton Head's solid. From what I'm seeing, they're solid.
I mean, Fish and Rob are real high. Fish is real high on him. He's exceptionally high on the Ketis Smith and Tajay. He thinks that's the best 1-2 combo in the backcourt that anybody has.
If that's the case, I'm looking forward to Hilton Head May River games when they come around because that's
I think those are going to be really good. I think they're going to be really good.
They're going to be fun to watch. I mean, any of those. I think
and
Bluffton, May River,
the Bluffton games,
I think those three
Bishop
teams
England
going
as well.
at it. Yeah, I think those three teams going at it, and then when each of them play Bishop England, this is going to be a fun region to watch this year. I'm excited.
It will be. May River's fun to watch because they play good, crisp, clean team basketball. They move the ball. They find open guys, knock down shots. It's good to watch.
They run an offense as smooth as I've seen any team run an offense. Their offensive scheme they run.
It's different than what we've seen around here. Like they are much more, other than prep the last few years. They are much more refined than most teams that you see around here as far as the way they run their offense.
That's one of the
and that's what makes them punch above their weight. They're gonna beat some people that are more talented than them because they play good team ball,
good basketball.
And that'll steal some wins for you. All right, boys. Well, I'm running out of stuff to talk about and gas. I'm about done. You boys want to stay on and chat for a while, and I'll hop off, or you got any other topics you want to talk about, or do we want to get into parting thoughts and just cut it short tonight?
Might as well cut it short tonight. I think we've covered about everything.
Yeah, I think it was a speed round, but I think we got through it pretty good. There's not a whole lot of opining to do at this time of year.
Right. I mean, it's very early.
Gathering data.
I think it'll start to heat up once we get into those tournaments that start next week.
That's when
and then region play, of course, that adds
to get going. So
layers in some content.
And we got two really good tournaments coming up too in the BC Classic and the Bluffton tournament as well.
Oh, don't forget the Seahawk Holiday Classic as well. There's a lot less. You only have Hilton Head as the one home team, so maybe you guys aren't.
Yeah, Hilton Head usually, when it comes to that tournament, Hilton Head usually
probably the better tournament overall, but it doesn't have as much local flavor. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the last time this Hilton Head has gotten.
BC Classic's going to be really fun.
It's been a while.
They got some good teams in there.
It's been a while since I think the 1 year they got the state championship, they didn't win it. I think they may have gotten the finals that year.
Right.
In 2020. By the way, actually, they didn't have it that year because of COVID. So never mind. They didn't have it that year. Yep.
And I do want to say that Battery Creek men's team's looking really fun to watch as of late. I watched some of their game on
Ethan Knox is a whole problem.
Yeah, man, dude, that team is something. Yeah, they're something special.
Yep.
I really like them. I hate how they're in the region with North Charleston, Oceanside, and OW. But
you know what?
I wouldn't
if you
put it
finish
past them to
second or
compete.
third in that region, you got a shot to make a run. Like,
Yeah,
No doubt. No doubt.
I even would say even if they finished fourth and made the playoffs somehow, I feel like they could knock down. Well, I feel like they could knock down a team that no one would see coming because they've played in that region of death where they've
but if you're a 4, you got to play a 1, and then it's real hard.
Yeah,
but if you're a 3,
you're also playing. You're also if you were able to compete, even if you finished fourth, but you were a competitive fourth spot.
No,
I still think they could upset someone if playoffs come around. Like
it's a strong enough region that it's the kind of region where that kind of thing can happen for sure.
Yeah.
If the fourth one's just like if the top 4 are all just real close and it's just narrow margins, that 4th team can shock somebody. You're right.
Be interesting. But
looking tomorrow, I told you about a lot of wrestling going on outside of the area. We've also got, and we told you about USCB on the road at Middle Georgia tomorrow, 1:30 and 3:30 tips. Wes mentioned the Hilton Head girls are playing the Tasmania National Intensive Training Program. Woodville Tompkins is out at Ridgeland, and Bridges Prep is at Hardyville tomorrow afternoon. Plus a Thomas Hayward JP2 matinee over in Okatee. So got a few things on tap tomorrow if you want to check them out.
Early Saturday basketball. It's always nice when football season comes to an end. I get to spend more time focusing on watching some hoops. So it's always fun. It's always fun to see international teams come over because I remember a couple of holiday classics. We've had Australian teams, this Tasmania team. It's a good.
We used to have Australian teams come to the
international, play international teams. So
I think they called them like the Dunkaroos.
And they go to the River, I think, later that week or late on Tuesday. They played.
There was this team that used to come to the Bobcat Classic every year in the early days of it, back when I was still at the Packet, and they were an Australian.
Look up this team here.
Tasmania. We called them the Dunkaroos. I don't know if they were really called that, but I remember calling them the Dunkaroos.
I like that though. That's funny.
But you're also a great snack, Dunkaroos. But all right, well, let's get sponsors and we'll do some parting thoughts. I got one in mind that's newsworthy. But shout out to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. Max made his debut as Under the Bus producer this week.
Yeah,
we were both unavailable. Max jumped in and pushed the buttons for the boys. Good times. So check out a new episode of Under the Bus on the Lowco Media Network, and check out Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, a great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Also, thanks to HHI Windows and Doors, improving your view of the Low Country. Our old friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep hung up his whistle, focused on a new kind of screens, improving your view at HHI Windows and Doors.
I love that.
And of course, we've also got Twenge and Twombly. If you need a personal injury attorney in Beaufort, call on the one with the rare name and remarkable service, Twenge and Twombly. Personal injury attorneys, fun to say, Twenge and Twombly. And then finally, Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. We should have a new episode for you Sunday night if some of us wrestling coaches still have a little gas in the tank. And also Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. All right, parting thoughts, Max or Raj. Let's see if we can get them in under 17 minutes, fellas. 16 minutes, fellas.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it's been a crazy world in the world of football this week. Obviously, we might be seeing a grandfather playing an NFL game on Sunday, and the 44-year-old Philip Rivers. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm telling you, I want to see it. On one hand, I want to see it. On the other hand, I'm like, on one hand, I want to see it. On the other hand, I'm saying, oh my God, if he gets hit the wrong way, I just can't. I can't.
There are many ways where it can completely go awry very quickly when you have a 45-year-old guy come back
of the ball.
and playing quarterback. By the way, trying to, it's. But I'll tell you what, like this guy is super competitive. He's had a tremendous career. If there's anyone who can come back and look to compete at that level.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's looking at Tom Brady, what he did, very old, like older in his career. I don't even remember the guy John Kitna, who was a math teacher. He came back around the early 2010s and played for the Cowboys. Used to play for the Lions.
Yeah. So there was that, and then of course we didn't think it'd get much crazier in the world of football, and then it did on Wednesday afternoon. Head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, Sharon Moore, was fired Wednesday afternoon. At the time, the cause was unknown, and then just hours later, everything else was revealed because he got arrested.
Sharon.
Oh God, how the tables have turned. Sharon was arrested. At the time, the alleged charge was alleged assault. And then it got much worse on this afternoon at his arraignment hearing, as he was charged with felony home invasion in the 3rd degree, breaking and entering, and stalking. And it's just, he's looking at, I'll just tell you all, he's looking at 15 years in prison right now. And that's just how the tides have turned in just, what 72 hours? You know, and so
no wonder they didn't beat Ohio State. This man was distracted.
But I mean, if like you're saying, like I feel like scrutiny follows the University of Michigan wherever it goes, because they have had enough of this crap for the last 4 years. You know, and of course, it had to be someone from Jim Harbaugh's staff that got himself into trouble too, to make that staff even more of a problem. And now the University of Michigan's a little late in the coaching carousel, and they're now trying to find a head coach. You know, it's just a whole issue that, you know, we all you know, when it first came out that he was fired,
I heard Lane Kiffin was interested.
Yep.
Karen DeBoer might be interested, actually.
The coaching movement, and it has been just some crazy storylines throughout just the past few weeks.
It's just insane.
There's a whole lot of can't make it up going on out there right now.
Here's the thing. I feel like we were all thinking this when he got fired. I was like, why did he get fired? Because I thought he had a pretty decent season.
It certainly wasn't performance-based. There was something else that was going on.
But we didn't know that at the time, and I just thought to myself, why? I mean, he had a pretty solid season. I mean, no, was it national championship worthy? No, of course not.
No, but not like this guy's going to lose his job after how this.
Think about it. It's very rare these days that we find out about the firing before we find out about the why.
Yeah.
Right.
We usually know about the why for a long time, and then there's got to be a lot of public pressure before we get it fired.
He got fired, and then he got arrested. That's the crazy thing. He got fired, and then he did some real stupid shit later that night. You know,
so they already knew about stuff.
Oh no, and once it came out of why he was fired, I was like, oh, they had a smoking gun on him, because they wouldn't have fired him unless they had a smoking gun in that investigation that they did.
He's memed fiercely.
He
won't coach again. That's done.
Oh yeah, no, not a chance. And I don't feel bad for him, because what he did was absolutely ridiculous.
You can't feel bad for him.
But I feel bad more so for the
consequences,
players. Well, I feel bad more so for the players, the city of Ann Arbor, obviously, for what they have gone through over the last few years. Despite winning a national championship, they've gone through enough of this crap for the last 4 to 5 years with Jim Harbaugh and now Sharon Moore. And I feel really bad for his family, his wife, and his kids. You know,
that's who I feel bad for.
They have
and
to
the
go
girl
through
who he is probably taking advantage of. I mean,
absolutely. And I just, it's just really horrible. And you couldn't think this football week was going to get as crazy as this was. I mean, we literally started with Phillip Rivers being talked about starting on Sunday, and obviously the University of Notre Dame crying about the fact they didn't get into the college football playoff. And you didn't think it was going to get any crazier than that this week. And then they laid a next one Wednesday. You know, just really crazy.
Yep. You know, I don't know if I'm sure you've seen the Dr. Pepper ads they do every year where they have like the
Fansville.
Yeah, Fansville. They have all these weird things happening.
Yeah.
I feel like those last few weeks seems like a whole one of those commercials with all these crazy things happening.
Can't make it up.
But
what do you got, Wes?
my turn, I guess. Speaking of college football, I'm going to say this. And I don't know if you came across this, but this is some big news involving one of our former Lowco standouts. My boy, Gaston Moore, is going to start for the University of South Florida in the Cure Bowl.
We mentioned that on the USCB stream the other night because Rob saw it and pulled it up and showed me. The crazy part is that Byram is sitting out, but he's going to serve as an assistant coach.
Interesting. Now that is what a cool opportunity for Gaston. I mean, this is what you have the opportunity to try to do is maybe you don't get those starts during the season, but a chance to win a bowl game and start a bowl game. Man, I'll definitely be watching. Let's see, when is the Cure Bowl? It's there's so many different bowl games. I gotta
probably late December.
Find out. Okay, no, it's coming up actually.
It's pretty soon.
This week, December the 17th. So a lot earlier than.
Ooh, okay.
5 o'clock start Wednesday the 17th. So yeah, mark your calendars. Our guy Gaston Moore getting the start for the Bowls of South Florida.
Who are they playing?
Old Dominion.
Old Dominion, that's right. Yeah.
That's gonna be
one of my students has a brother on the Old Dominion team.
How about the Atlanta Falcons with the dramatic victory?
Both of you are happy about that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Panthers fans. You get your shot.
Carolina Panthers
use it.
now in front of the NFC South, but it doesn't matter unless they take care of business against the Saints. They lost to the Saints the first time they met. So I will say that I'm tempering my expectations still, despite a getting some help from Atlanta. Kirk Cousins doing his thing, and but I
out of nowhere, Kirk Cousins out of nowhere.
I'm feeling that Dave Canales, what he has done this year, I cannot see them losing the Saints both games. I think that New Orleans quarterback has been competitive. I will say that, but I expect Bryce Young and
Tyler Show or whatever out of Louisville, the rookie from
I think that I expect Carolina to put together a good performance. And then the crazy thing is if all they have to do is win the next two, and they win the NFC South because they would have the tiebreaker.
The NFC South. Somebody's got to win it.
Yeah, and if Tampa Bay, does not find a way to win the division, they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that division ain't getting.
Which, by the way, speaking of which, obviously the Chicago Bears lost to the Green Bay Packers, which put the Bears from the 1 seed all the way down to the 7th seed.
Yeah,
in the playoffs. That's how crazy.
Yeah, and there was a lot of debate about if you win a bad division, you not only get a playoff, you only get to be in the playoff, you get to host a playoff game, and there's always someone who says that shouldn't happen. That's
I don't know. It is what it is.
I don't hate how the football playoffs are set up for the NFL. I don't hate them.
No, I think they're.
I think they're good. Yeah,
I think they're the best of all sports, honestly.
I gotta go to NHL on that.
No, you're right. True. Better. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Max, did you hear that Quinn Hughes got traded to Minnesota in a blockbuster?
I did see that. Very interesting.
Huge
very interesting trade.
But Justin, your turn.
I got a couple. I mentioned Reverence Wrestling Club. I just wanted to give a shout out to Coach Blake over there. He's phenomenal. We saw Coach Blake on Saturday at the Low Country Championship. He always asks us how it's going to Hardyville. We told him he saw a lot of our kids wrestle. He was like, man, you guys got it going on over there. We asked him about coming to run a practice because he did that for us at McCracken 2 years ago, and it was phenomenal. So he came in yesterday. I had my capstone presentation, and I had to be on a call. And Coach Gearhart's on Marine Reserve duty, so I was there to kind of oversee, but I wasn't able to lead practice. So Coach Blake came in, led practice, gave us 2 hours of his time, went overtime at the end. He had 2 minutes left, and he said, but I want to go over near side cradles real quick. So we went over near side cradles real quick. He invited all the kids to come to the club, offered them a discount, told us if anybody needs shoes, come by the club and get them. Dropped off a sponsorship check for us so we can get some shirts. Just a phenomenal dude,
so great.
and truly a world class. I mean, there are few in the world better clubs than Reverence Wrestling Club, and it's right here in Bluffton.
They're the best.
And we're so grateful.
Yep.
For them to be not only our sponsor, but to sponsor the rest of the Low Country community because they do a great.
They're such great ambassadors for the whole sport. I mean, they oversee it so well. And they are responsible for building up these young men and young women because the girls' wrestling scene continues to get better and better and better.
I apologize because
we got Jada Lawrence wrestling at Columbia University right now.
Yeah, and I apologize because I live literally 2 minutes away and I have not walked into Reverend Wrestling Club yet. So that's on my list of things to do because I do. Yeah,
go introduce yourself to Blake and check it out. It's a cool spot. They got an open mat every Sunday, 11 to 12:30. It's open to anybody, $15. come in and get some mat
there.
time and instruction. It's great stuff. So, and then the other one, shout out to a couple of Hampton County boys. Still playing football this weekend. I know the team, wrapped it up with a disappointing end in the state championship game. But Jalen Singletary, he's up there doing the Shrine Bowl thing, or what Shrine Bowl is what is right, or North South.
Or I think the North. I think the Shrine Bowl might be the next week. I know. Normally the week after the state championship is
he's up there doing the North South.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
The touchdown cooperative bowl. That's what they call it.
Yeah, and then also Kayvon Chisholm going to be suiting up Saturday in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl for South Carolina State.
Yeah. South Carolina State taking on Prairie View A&M. South Carolina State trying to get another HBCU title, baby.
Yeah. Go, baby. Man, that would be cool. They've
been great the last few years. They have been really fun to watch, and I've
watched some of their games. Such a good hire bringing in Chennis
from the low country over that program. It's a great program. In terms of where they compete and chance to win another HBCU national championship.
It's partly why we've had a lot of players from our area end up going to play at South Carolina State, because it's a great program and it's a really cool campus.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely keep an eye on the Celebration Bowl tomorrow. I believe they play that in Atlanta at the Mercedes.
Yeah, it's noon
kick. Obviously, you got Army Navy tomorrow, which is always a classic.
Do we have time? Because I do have their uniforms.
Yes.
Get it in. Let me go get it. Let me get it up. Hold on.
Nope.
Now's the time for the Army Navy uniforms. We got 4 minutes. What do you say? 3 minutes. But should be cool tomorrow. Checking out SC State. Man, I'm getting hot. I'm tired.
See if I can get a
long week, boys.
Good picture of it. No, that's not it. Come on, boys, give me that. Cool.
Where's Max's uni watch when you need it?
I know. Give me a second. I'm trying to get it up here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to check on a couple of scores that we don't have yet.
I still have not seen an HHCA score yet for that HHCA Bluffton game, and I haven't seen Bridges.
Yeah, South Carolina State taking on Prairie View A&M noon on ABC. So
Yep. Become a regular occasion for them to play in this thing.
Yep.
Still looking for Hampton Colleton boys too, but I'm sure Hampton took care of biz.
I assume so.
Nope, that's not the one. From May River boys.
Here they are. Here's
May River boys are trying to go 9-0.
Ooh, dang.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Let's see here. All right, here is Army.
Oh,
very clean away games. I'm trying to see if I can find what these represent.
I like that font.
Yeah, it's
nice.
That's
cool. Looking at
if I'm not mistaken, both of these are representing 250
looks like the
years.
Death Star.
Yeah. Both of these uniforms are representing obviously the United States 250th
right. Yeah.
Anniversary. So those are the Army uniforms. Of course, they're the away team on tomorrow afternoon. And then if I can get it up here, here's Navy.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I like
cool.
them. Those are sick.
Oh, it's got the stuff for here. It marks the 250th anniversary of the United States Navy. Let's see. The Navy word mark.
Helmet?
The Navy word mark and number font are derived from the typography of in the historic act to provide naval armament, which is the document that authorized the creation of the first fleet of the United States Navy. The 6 ropes embedded into the sleeves and collars represent the original 6 frigates, with exactly 250 knots symbolizing the Navy's 250th anniversary. That's really cool.
Jeez.
The metal copper Under Armour logo pays tribute to the copper's lasting role in the naval history, from ship sheeting to mast coins to the Save Old Iron Size Pennies campaign, which I'm trying to remember when that. I assume that was the American Revolution, but I could be wrong.
Cool.
The Nautical Navy and Heritage red colors reflect. Ooh, where are the red colors? Oh, I see them. reflect the United States Constitution, battle-worn bull, and cannon line sides. Oh, that's one of their ships. Oh, okay. While the eagle and 6 stars on the upper back mirror the ship's stern. Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
A lot of thought went into that.
Yeah, I mean, both uniforms, really. I mean, they're just really, really cool.
Very good.
Really cool uniforms. So they always bring out these really sick looking uniforms for their game. So really cool.
All right, boys. Well, we managed to fill up an hour despite not having all that much to talk about. So
hey, it's okay.
Well, we did have a lot to talk about, but we got through it in record time. So I can get some sleep tonight, and we can all be well rested for a busy weekend of Loco Sports. And we'll get back with you Monday night for a new Loco Sports Lowdown. I suspect we'll have the usual Sunday programming of 1L Hoops Happy Hour and Loco Grind. So be on the lookout for that. We'll schedule those as we're able to get our crews together on
probably
Sunday evening.
I would also add Sunday afternoon. I'll probably be doing the Mad Max Loco recap on Sunday afternoon.
So lots of weekend programming coming at you, and then the Lowdown will be back Monday night here on the Loco Media Network. So thanks to all of our sponsors who make it possible. Thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch, and thanks to the kids and the coaches who put on a show for us and give us something to talk about. For Max Araj and Wes Kerr, I am Justin Jarrett. Thanks for joining us tonight, and until next time, go Loco.